How do you get over someone? Play it out in your mind. Have the full unabashed conversation like that person was standing right in front of you. Talk to them. Remember why you aren't together. If it was mutual, then this usually works. If it's one-sided, and your heart is broken, embrace it. Embrace the pain. Remember, if there isn't anything you can do about the situation, the only thing you can change is the way you react to it. Amor fati. Love your fate. If this person you wish to get over has passed on, and everything in the world is muted gray, dull, and terrible, then in my experience, getting over is not something you should really even attempt. That person, as all people, are never truly gone from this world until they are forgotten. It is your duty to live your life as best you can, never forgetting them, but also living as they would have wanted you to. Go on adventures, pet dogs, eat strange foods, read books that challenge your beliefs, grow as a person, and maybe one day find love again. Knowing full well that they would approve. I'm 40 now, and it seems the older I get, the easier it becomes to walk away from people. I've met the love of my life 3 different times. I've loved women without ever telling them. I've been rejected, cheated on, dumped, ghosted, married and divorced. I've had one-night stands, and 12-year relationships. The only thing I can tell you is that the people we chose to love, leave pieces of themselves within us. Oftentimes, you don't even realize it until you have the strange desire to go to an IKEA on a Saturday afternoon, and have no idea why until you walk in and feel the nostalgia of walking around with someone, laughing at odd chairs, and wondering why this insignificant thing meant so much. One thing I'd recommend, try having the conversation out loud. You can use your mind to play everyone who isn't you, but there's some inherent value in speaking your own part out loud. I remember being 22, stupid, and furious after a relationship ended. It was easier to be angry than it was to be sad, so I really dove into that rage. I called that ex every mean name in the book, slung mud about her to friends and random strangers, left not so cryptic messages about how much I hated her on Reddit where I knew she'd find them all sorts of crappy stuff. In my mind, it was easy to justify everything. I hurt really bad, and she'd clearly and intentionally caused me a lot of emotional harm by breaking up with me and then getting together with someone else too darn quickly, and proving that I'd never meant anything to her. I drove a lot for work, and after literal months of going to bed and waking up angry with a woman I hadn't seen since I graduated college, I decided to finally talk about it out loud to the empty passenger's seat. And trying to call her a cruel bitch and worse, it stuck in my throat. Because it was a damn lie. We were both kids pretending to be adults wrapping up college. She wanted out because I wasn't a particularly good boyfriend to her. I was obsessed with sex, didn't have much by way of a future planned out or ambitions, dismissed her when she talked about stuff that bothered her, played too many video games. There was a laundry list of reasons why most people wouldn't have wanted to date my crusty ass in college. I'd ignored all of them because it was easier to pretend that she was just pure evil than it was to be sad and to acknowledge that I needed to change and improve if I ever wanted to have happy and healthy relationships again. Hashing it out with yourself out loud forces that sort of honesty and makes you examine things a little more clearly. You know when you're lying to yourself, it's just that sometimes you need the extra kick of having to say it. I'm still figuring that out too, but here are what helped me in the process. Sit with your feelings. Acknowledge it. There will be days where you just want to cry and do nothing in bed. Let yourself grieve and cry. As many times as it takes. Try to remove your ex from your social media feed. If you don't want to block them just yet, hide their posts/stories. This includes Spotify if you both have it. Limiting their visibility on your feed would reduce the unnecessary trigger points. If you don't want to delete your chats, archive them. This helped me a lot because I wanted to reconnect back so bad, but I know it won't yield any good outcome. So anytime I want to reconnect back, I made it hard for myself cause I need to go for the extra clicks. Also, if you really want to reconnect and know you shouldn't, type what you want to say to your ex but don't send. Do something else like watch a YouTube video, have a meal, read. Then come back to that text. Usually that urge subsides for me and I became more logical after walking away from it. Remove photos that you took together out of your sight. Take down social media posts that you had with your ex. I couldn't bring myself to delete my whole year worth of photos in my phone, so I put them in my hard drive, which I don't usually reach out for unless I want to back up stuff. In a way, move the photos from your phone to some other drive that you don't usually see. When you can, pick up a new activity or pick up what you have dropped before. Could be as simple as researching on topics you were once interested in. Reading, watching shows that you never watched but said you would, go to a cafe. This is a hard one, but I realize is required for me to outgrow my ex. To consciously keep letting go. Over and over again. It's gonna hurt, cause random times a memory will come up from a simple action like going to the store, coffee, cooking, etc. This can happen as frequent as your brain wants it. When that feeling comes, go back to point 1. Then tell yourself that you are letting go of that. Let go of the expectations you have had for the future. Let go of that memory. TLDR, sit with your feelings and cry as much as you need to. Remove your ex from any feed that you see, including photos, chats, social media, items too even. Do something new or something that you said you would but never got to do. Consciously letting go in your mind.